morning everybody, welcome to my first what I eat in a day in my new home. I'm starting with a cold cup of water with some benefiber in there for digestion, and then I'm going to move on to having some of my vitamins. I'm starting with my prescription pill, which is a Somac tablet for my acid reflux, which I've struggled with for years. And then I'm going to have a probiotic specifically for my gut health, a turmeric tablet for inflammation, and a vitamin C tablet. Now on to breakfast. I really love oats in the morning, and I have the perfect recipe to make sure they're super nice and fluffy. So I like to start with 30 grams of oats, a bit of mixed spice, and also some vanilla essence for flavoring. And then I like to fill my oats with a little bit of water just until the water is covering the oats, as you can kind of see here. Now I'm just going to pop it on the stove. I like to just leave it on the stove for a few minutes before I begin to stir my oats, and then as they start to thicken and bubble, this is when I go in with some almond milk. Now starting with the water and then adding the almond milk, I have found makes my oats super fluffy and full and not dry and clumpy. Now I just like to let my oats bubble and cook away. I keep stirring until I really like the consistency. And then when it's nice and thick but not dry, I like to add some blueberries into my oats. This adds a super yummy amount of flavor as well as some good antioxidants. And then I just keep stirring until the blueberries soften, and you'll see a really beautiful like purple juice kind of release from the blueberries, and that's when I know it is done. For toppings today, I'm starting with about 10 grams of almond butter for some good healthy fats in the morning, followed by around 10 grams of maple syrup and also some chia seeds, which are super good for you. And that is my breakfast done. Sometimes I like to switch up the fruit and add in banana or some fresh strawberries in the top, but for the most part I really like to add the water and then the almond milk, so my oats are super nice and fluffy, and they were delicious. Today, Mum was also making a beef bone broth, which is amazing for your gut health especially, so I thought I'd also document the process. We've got some organic beef bones as well as ossobuco, which has a lot of bone marrow in it, and we are just seasoning them with some salt and pepper before roasting them off in the oven until they're super nice and brown. After your bones have browned off in the oven, you want to add in a red wine vinegar or even a wine. This helps to release some of the nutrients from the bones, and it also adds a really yummy flavor too. So now we're just going to pop all the bones into a big pot. You can also add whatever vegetables you like. We've just gone with carrots for today, and don't forget to pour in some of that yummy juicy stuff. We will also be adding some fresh herbs, including fresh thyme and fresh rosemary. This is just going to make everything super delicious, and we also like to season with a good amount of turmeric, which is super good for you, as well as some more pepper, some fresh ginger as well, which makes everything yummy and is also very good for you. And we also like to add in cinnamon to give it more of a Lebanese taste, followed by some parat, which is basically Arabic 7 spice, which you can buy from the store. We just like to sprinkle that on too. Then you want to pop this on the heat. Now you want to fill up your tanjira with a lot of water. You want to make sure this goes all the way past the bones, and if you don't know what that means, it just means pot. I also forgot to mention this is actually a pressure cooker because we're going to be keeping this on the heat for like as long as possible, maybe 5 to 6 hours. So Mum's screwing on the lid really nice and tight so that the pressure builds up properly. Then we're just going to make sure it's on medium heat, and after a few minutes you'll see that pressure starting to release, which means it's working. So basically the bone broth is done for now, and we will look at the next steps a little bit later. Now we're going to move on to lunch. For lunch today, we had these beautiful fresh mangoes in the fridge, so I really wanted to make a mango salad. I'm starting with some baby spinach and some shredded cabbage, and then I'm also going to add in a radish. This is horseradish, and a really good healthy serving of avocado, which makes this so yummy and creamy. What's next? Oh, the mango, of course. I'm going to add 1 mango. This salad makes 2 serves, by the way, 1 for me, 1 for Mum. And then I'm going to add in our cocktail prawns, which were delicious. Next up for seasoning, I'm going to add some olive oil followed by some fresh salt, fresh salt, you know what I mean. And then also some herbamare, which is a really nice herby salty seasoning. Also going to add in some turmeric, which really sets off the flavors in this salad. And then some lemon juice for the dressing. Also going to add in a little bit of seeded mustard, and then I'm just giving it a stir. And I decided it needed some really delicious balsamic vinegar, so I'm adding a very small splash of that, followed by a little bit of mint, very last minute, which I found in the fridge, and that literally made the salad taste so delicious. Yeah, literally one of my favorite salads ever. And then me and Mum are just going to enjoy this together outside. I was just about to leave the house in the afternoon and felt like a snack, so I grabbed a fresh yellow nectarine. This is the first one I've had in the summer season, and it was absolutely delicious. So around 6 hours later, we're back at the bone broth, and we're just taking off the lid of the pressure cooker, which Mum screwed on extra tight today. So this is the bone broth, and guys, this smelled incredible, and it is the most glossy, clear bone broth. So now we're just going to strain all of the zoom out. Zoom basically means juice or sauce or what else?
Broth.
Soup, broth in Arabic. So that's what we're going to do now. Now these bones still had a really beautiful amount of meat on them, so they were absolutely delicious. We were picking on them before dinner, which we're about to hop into right now. So we have put in some chicken wings and some chicken thigh bones, chicken on the thigh, whatever you want to call it, into the oven. Mum just seasoned that with salt, and we had pre-prepared some tabbouleh yesterday, which looks absolutely divine. So we're just going to work on the dressing for that right now, which is so simple and easy. So we're going to start with some extra virgin olive oil and then follow up with a really good healthy amount of salt. Lebs love salt. Then we're going to add in our lemon juice and stir it all together. Make sure you're really gentle when you're stirring everything so you don't squish the parsley or the tomato. And then I'm just trying it and it tasted perfect, so I'm going to move on to the dressing for the chicken. So for our chicken, we like to start with lemon juice, plus we add in some thoum, which is just garlic dip. We like the store-bought one, or you can make it yourself too. Then we're going to add in more cinnamon and more powder to make everything yummy. And then we're going to pour this on the chicken as soon as it comes out of the oven. And guys, this will probably be one of the best types of chicken wings you've ever tasted. It is so delicious. You have to try it. So here we have dinner tonight. Mum also made hummus earlier in the day. We've got our lettuce for our tabbouleh, we've got our sage bread, we've got our chicken, and we are ready to roll. I almost forgot to show you, but later that night I had a vegan cornetto for a little bit of dessert. I can't eat dairy if you didn't know, but the vegan cornettos are delicious. So it is the next morning, but I wanted to give you an update on the bone broth. If you put it in the fridge overnight, you're going to notice all the fat rising to the top. We're about to scrape all that off, and underneath will be a beautiful clear jelly. And then when you heat this up in the microwave, it turns into a really beautiful clear broth. And basically that is all. I really hope you guys enjoyed this what I eat in a day / bone broth recipe. I had so much fun filming and editing this, so I would love your feedback. Thank you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you back. Bye!